Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I'm just having a whole lot of fun here. Basic shapes. The next set are right over here. And if I click and hold, you can see these. I am, incidentally, in a blank document, so just go ahead and open up something, a sandbox to draw in. I'm going to tear them off. That gives me power. Let's put them right about here. Now let's recap something just real quick here. I want to mention something. We're working with basic shapes. I mean circles and squares and lines and tigers, oh my. And that's all we're doing. But understand something. Look at sometimes a complex piece of Illustrator artwork. And I'll tell you what, if you break that thing down, there's a good chance it's made up of circles and squares and lines and polygons and stars, all put together to create a complex Illustrator piece of artwork. We are laying a foundation here. And if you're not all that comfortable with these tools, getting comfortable with them is going to help you be a better designer. So let's start with the one on the left, which is a line segment tool. If I come over here and click and drag, I draw a line segment, a straight line. Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and that's exactly what we're doing. If I hold the Shift key down, it's nice and straight, or 45. If I hold the Alt key, I draw out from center. And I can hold Alt, and that's the Option key on a Mac, of course, Alt or Option. And I can hold the Alt or Option key and the Shift key and straight out from center. If I press the space bar, it locks me in. I can move it and then let go of the space bar and draw again. By default, when you create a stroke, unless you've got something else going on, you've redefined what stroke is, you're going to get a 1-point black stroke. Well, let's look at this real quick. We're going to get more into strokes later, but hey, right over here it says stroke. If I move this out here, there's the weight. Now check this out. If I click here and say show options, a lot of these palettes have a show option feature, and when you open it up, your whole world expands. Look at all the different options that you have here. Cappings and corners, angles, dashed lines. Well, let's do a dashed line. Let me do this first. Let me draw something a little bit longer. Okay, it is selected. If we come down here and click dash, as you can see, let me unselect that for a second, we have a dashed line. Now, it is by default 12 with nothing else in here, which means it's 12 on and 12 off. Dash blank at 12. If I change the gap, well, let me reselect this again. Now, I'm holding the Control key down, and that would be the Command key on a Mac or Control key in Windows, and then I can reselect it. I let go of that key, and then I'm back into line drawing. And say I put a gap in here of 5. And let me unselect it again so you can see that. So now we have a 12 dash with a 5 gap. You can keep going with this as much as you want to. Arrowheads, lots of different things. We'll talk more about strokes later, but that's kind of a neat feature. Let me go ahead and select this again over here before I turn it off. Selection is kind of important, and the reason it is, of course, is that Illustrator needs to know what you want to do, and you tell it what you want to do by selecting something. So let me turn that off again. It didn't do anything before because I didn't have anything selected. All right, let me just close that out for now. We don't need that. And let me press Control A, and that's Command A on a Mac, Control A in Windows, and delete everything. And that, of course, is the Delete key in Mac and Backspace in Windows. Come to the next tool, and that is an Arc tool, the Arc of Truth. If I click and drag, I am drawing an arc. Now, if I hold the Alt key down, it'll go out from center. Shift key, it tries to hold it in place. This is my impression of a snake at a tennis match. There you go. And those are the jokes, folks. Anyway, you get the idea. You're making an arc. If I just click, I can get my length here. I can make a closed shape as opposed to open. Is the base along horizontal or vertical, X or Y? You can change the convex concavity here. I don't know if concavity is a word, concave. And you can fill it. Now let me do it with the shortcut. You click and you drag. Now, press the up and down arrow keys. Now again, being more of a visual person than a mathematician, I like being able to do that as I draw. I still have it selected in terms of drawing mode. And when I let go, I've created a new arc. Up to you. The next one over, Control A, Command A on Mac, delete. Let's do a spiral. Now, when I use the spiral tool, I get a default spiral. If I click over here, you can see we have a radius. We have a decay. Now, the decay is how it goes in as it decays. There's the number of segments, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can go clockwise or counterclockwise. Let's click OK. and, well, you make another one. Now let me get rid of those two. Couple of tricks. As you're drawing, press the up and down arrow keys, and you can either add or subtract segments. If you hold the Alt key down when you make it larger or smaller, watch what happens. It adds or subtracts segments based on just holding the Alt key down and expanding or contracting the size. Kind of like auto mode, if you will. If you hold down the Command key, the Control key in Windows, it's like you've got a pin right in the middle holding that spring in place and you're stretching it out. At least that's kind of the way I look at it. And we can actually go the other way with it and do anything you want. If you then let go of the Command key, you can still work it, but it's a completely different shape. Spiral. Let me go ahead and get rid of that one. The next two have several new modifier keys assigned to them. And if we go to the grid first here, draw something like that. Now here's some of the modifiers. Shift key, of course, is perfect square. Alt key is drawing in and out from center. We know those. Pressing the space bar, we can move it and then let go again and start drawing. But what if we want more rows or columns? Up and down arrow keys, left and right arrow keys. So left and right arrow keys are more or less in terms of columns, and up and down are rows. But that's not all. Keep it selected. I'm going to reach over on my keyboard and press the X or the C keys. Now watch what happens. It skews it. And if I press the F and the V keys, it skews it the other way. X and C, F and V. Okay, let's get rid of those. Last one, same keys though, but it does circular stuff. So the up and down arrow keys will increase the concentric circles, and the left and right arrow keys will increase or decrease the pie pieces. You could make a bullseye, I guess. Let me go ahead and add a few more in there. The X and C keys kind of skew the circles, kind of make it look like a tunnel, I suppose. And the F and V keys skew the pie pieces. Now, once you let go of all the tools in the last two lessons we've been talking about, once you let go of your mouse or your drawing tablet, the shape is in a sense locked in. You can't come back and say, oh, I want to change something again by using those modifier keys. You'd have to start drawing it again, which might not be the end of the world. When we go a little bit further, we'll see how now that we have a shape, we can take it apart, we can transform it, we can fill it with colors, do anything we want to. We're just talking basic shapes here. That's all we're doing.